Hello everybody and welcome to the Mama Shoshana channel. I am Shoshana Mizell. How are you doing? This is my third and final upload on God and AA, or AA and God. And then again, this is just my feeling. This is the things that I have learned and figured out for myself after 27 years of sobriety. So if you would be so kind as to subscribe, like, share, and of course, comment if you feel inspired to. And I will get right into this. Okay, be right back. Now, the one thing, if you're not familiar with Alcoholics Anonymous, when we talk about a higher power, we don't necessarily mean a God of any particular religion. AA, or Alcoholics Anonymous, is not a religious program. It is a spiritual program. And one of the main things that we talk about and learn about in AA is finding our own conception of a higher power. That is what seems to have worked for millions upon millions of alcoholics who have been religious, who have tried all different kinds of religions, who have tried all different kinds of self-help books and meditations and so forth and so on. But for the majority of alcoholics, this seems to be what works. And my last two podcasts, I was talking about my growth with trying to find my own conception of God. And at 27 years sober, I realized that working with a new sponsor who was really amazing and really told me, you know what, be honest. Do you have your own conception of what your higher power is? So these are the thoughts that I came up with, and it's a really amazing journey. I'm definitely getting closer, much closer, to what my conception of a higher power is. Basically, I always repeated what other people told me, and I kind of just cooked myself onto other people's conceptions and thought, well, yeah, I mean, it sounds good. It's popular. That's what most people think. So I might as well think that way as well. But yeah, being honest about it, really thinking about it, and breaking things down, I realized, you know what? Those are other people's conceptions, not mine. So this is the last excerpt in my journey to God. So, you know, I read somewhere, I can't remember exactly where it was, but it basically said that words cannot contain God. You know, so as a human being, you know, I factually know that my life is finite. And alcoholism, you know, to me, it's not curable, at least not in my experience. And you cannot see it. You can't see alcoholism. You can see the symptoms of alcoholism, and to find, you know, the solution for a sick and suffering alcoholic, I must find something that is stronger and more powerful than the disease of alcoholism, which is what I have. I know that my disease is not dependent on rationale per se, because, you know, rationally speaking, if my drinking was causing me a problem, then I should be able to stop drinking. So, and I wanted to go real quick. I was looking up the word religion and on the internet, and I just went to Wikipedia. And so very, very quickly, it says religion is a range of social and cultural systems, designated behaviors and practices, morals, beliefs, worldviews, texts, sanctified places, prophecies, transcendental and spiritual elements. So, you know, spirituality involves recognition of a feeling or a sense of belief that there is something greater than myself, something more to being human than the sensory experience, and the greater whole of which we are a part is cosmic or divine in nature. I can feel a God. I cannot know God, and this again is only me. I can only know what God wants from me or for me. How do I know that? It's a matter of trusting intuition, trusting the fact that a power greater than myself created intuition when I was born and put it in me. As I matured, as I became more knowledgeable, as I had more wisdom, I started to be able to trust that intuition. When I think of God as having a gender or judgment without investigation, I'm really, basically, I feel like I'm describing a person. I don't have a limit to what God is. God, I don't believe is human or male or female, lightness or darkness, or is God all of those things, all the thoughts, and ideas that I have as a human being are potential. All the ideas I have are potential of what could be possible. My spiritual higher power to me is not limited by my human brain. So if God is everything, let's say God or creation, then I am in alignment with God if I create the parts of God that speak to me. That to me is having a conception of a higher power. When you can feel that your soul, your spirit is moved by connecting to God in a way that means something to you or means something to me. So if God is everything, God is creation, then I'm in alignment with God if I create the parts of God that speak to me. So what would speak to me would be motherly love, the orange sunset, a goddess formed to perfect openness. God to me, and the only proof I have is something that no one else can see, is how God makes me feel. I see and I feel God in the invisible forces that create, let's say, a 20-foot high wave, or that soothing feeling I have when I'm taking a warm bath and I can feel the soothing of my sore muscles, and it makes me feel healed and safe. She is God. If I need her to be, because God is limitless, I kind of imagine that God can be put in this box and labeled. If I was to know God, I would never need to seek or create or search or ponder or rely or forgive, listen or meditate, pray or heal. I think that God was meant for me to search out and to get to know. So this might be a bit controversial for people who are religious, but religion per se in general has no room in Alcoholics Anonymous. There are people who feel that God, or their conception of God, is Jesus Christ. Some people may feel that it is nature. It's different for everybody. But that's the thing, is that I respect other people's conception. I respect everybody's feeling of what God is to them, even if it's something completely different than me. And the reason is that God has no limits. And my words and other people's words and other people's writings, again, as I said the first time, words cannot contain God, whether they're written or spoken. So as I get closer to my conception of God gets bigger and bigger. And there are, for example, parts of me, people who love me, love all the different parts of me. It doesn't mean that they are not recognizing me as a whole person, but if God made us in God's image, then us having multi-dimensional personalities, us having different ideas, us having different needs every day would be a reflection of how God made us. And God made us very individual. I mean, there are a lot of similarities, you know, with people, but there's a lot of uniqueness in us as human beings, and the freedom to be able to connect in a way that really is meaningful to me is the most important thing for every individual human being. So that is my last post on this journey of discovering my higher power in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. And thank you so much for listening. I will see you next time, giving all my love, and I will see you soon. Bye. Mwah.